Georgette Jones, daughter of Tammy Wynette and George Jones. We've already found out that you're not a professional entertainer, but I didn't know until a minute ago you don't even live in Nashville now.
No, I live in Alexander City. It's about an hour southeast of Birmingham.
In Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Mama was from Alabama, right?
Right. I mean, she was born in Mississippi, but right on the state line, so 5 minutes from Alabama, and she kind of lived in both places, so she claims Alabama's home, too.
But you do sing.
Yes, sometimes.
Well, you said the karaoke thing a while
Right.
ago. Do you do Mama's songs, Daddy's songs, your own songs?
I do kind of a variety of things. I like Patti Loveless and Pam Tillis and a bunch of other people. I like to sing a lot of different things, but I do some of Mom's and one or two of Daddy's, not that many. So.
Once he sung them, they've pretty well been sung, haven't they?
Right, right.
Of course, the same could be said for Tammy as well. Can you do Apartment Number 9?
I will, and as a matter of fact, the one reason why I picked that one was because Mom had told me that when that was pitched to her to do it by Billy Sherrill, that she was very nervous because she said, well, you know, my dad had just done it a couple of months earlier, and she said, there's no way I'm going to do a song that he's done. So he had to talk her into it, and it ended up being one of her first big hits.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, Mom and Dad both did it, so maybe we can make it 3.
All right.
So. Just follow the stairway to this lonely world of mine. You'll find me waiting here in apartment number 9. Not so very long ago, you walked away from me. And after all the plans we made, you decided to be free. Loneliness surrounds me without your arms around me, and the sun will never shine in apartment number 9. I keep waiting in this lonely room, just in case you change your mind. You'll find me waiting here in apartment number 9. Loneliness surrounds me without your arms around me, and the sun will never shine in apartment number 9. No, the sun will never shine in apartment number 9.
That's great. That's very, very good. I'm sorry. Johnny Paycheck wrote that, by the way.
Dad sang Apartment Number 9, and he had done it just a couple of months before Mom, they had pitched this song for her to do.
Oh, I see.
Right, and she thought there's no way I could ever sing that song after he has sang it. It's not going to do anything. If he did it and it didn't do anything, me doing it is not going to do anything.
I got
She
you.
was
Okay.
very, so she just was worried about doing it, and no one wanting to hear that they just wanted to hear the George Jones version, you know. And it actually didn't do that well for Daddy, and it did very well for Mom.
Yeah,
So.
sure did.
Didn't Bobby Austin record?
I think he had the original
Bobby had
record,
the
didn't he?
original,
Yeah.
Yeah, the original,
yeah. Yeah, I think he did. Of course, all of us were so saddened, and there was such a void left in our lives when your mom passed away. What are some of your special memories of Tammy Wynette being your mama?
Well, I had mentioned about how much she likes to cook earlier, and I can remember not really appreciating, that. I think everybody's mom is the best cook in the world. I don't know if everybody thinks that.
No, mine not.
But but I grew up, just mom always, special occasions, always did things special for us. And I had been talking to you at the break, and he had asked if I could cook chicken and dumplings like my mom could, and I said no. Her sticking her thumb in it for some reason made it taste that much better. But I remembered one time when I couldn't be home for Thanksgiving, and I always went home for the holidays, but for this Thanksgiving I could not. I had been sick, and so I was at home 4 hours away, and I guess she must have felt sorry for me and knew how much I wanted to eat some of her cooking for Thanksgiving. And she got a huge styrofoam box. I mean, it was huge and probably this deep. And she had cooked, I know, had to have been cooking for days, and froze all of it and then put it on dry ice and shipped it to me. And so I took it all out and heated all that up for Thanksgiving for our family at home, and then we had food to eat on for 3 or 4 months. When we finally got the last pack out, I remember my husband, he looked at me and he said, "That's the last pack. Maybe we should save it a little bit longer and we'll get it and cook it later." But
As a young girl, as a teenager, were there problems being Tammy Wynette and George Jones's daughter?
I think the thing that my sisters and I talk about the most is that you absolutely have no identity. I mean, I'm not Georgette. You go anywhere and you meet people and you're always introduced as, or you're pointed out as, oh, look, there's Georgia Jones and Tammy Wynette's daughter, or there's whatever. But you never, hey, here's Georgette or Tina or whoever. And, there's a lot of benefits to it. Everybody knows that's the truth. I mean, I got to travel a lot, and, I got to sing, do a lot of things. I mean, even like this today, I'd never get to do if it hadn't been, for my mom and dad. And so there's a lot of wonderful things that came out of it, more wonderful than the bad things, more good things than bad. So.
A lot of people in this room were close to Tammy. Jan, I know you and Tammy were very close friends.
I guess she was probably one of the closest friends. And we were there. We shared a lot of good times, and we went through some bad times together. She was there with me, I know, in a lot of my bad times. And but we had a lot of laughs. And at a time, I was there when Georgette was born. So, but there was a time when I said, I'm quitting because of something that had happened in my life, and I just couldn't go on the road by myself, period. And Tammy came over one day and she says, "We're going to Europe. I want you to come and go." And I said, "I don't want to go. I'm not going to sing, period." She said, "You don't have to sing. I just need a buddy. I just need my buddy with me." And so anyway, she said, "We're just going to be gone 2 weeks, and it'll be fun." So I did, and eventually she got me to sing like one song, and she was so gracious because I was, I tried to stay in the back as far as I could get because I just didn't want to be up there, and then when she finally did, and I was singing something, and I could see the fans in the audience, and I could see them say, "That's Jan Howard. That's Jan Howard." And while she was introducing me, she said, "Yes, that's Jan Howard. That's my buddy." She said, "And I'm going to sing, but you have no. She's going to sing, and then you have to put up with me, and then Jan will sing, whatever, And she was very gracious about it. Well, it ended up that I stayed with Tammy for about a year. And we had a great time, and it didn't bother me at all to be what some people considered okay to go back and be a backup singer. I didn't consider that. I was with my friends, and if I hadn't been with them, I wouldn't have done it at all. So it finally gave me the confidence enough to go back and do it by myself. And Tammy and I both talked and cried the day I decided that I had to leave. She said, "You're right, but I'll miss my buddy." And I now miss my buddy.